Hello once again everyone, Original Blood Ace back again, and we have an interesting discussion video to do today. It is about a developer named Tantalus. Now, to be honest, I hadn't really heard of them before. Basically, the one major Wii U game they made was a game called Funky Barn or something. Nothing really special, but these developers have also been the developers who ported certain games over to Wii U in the past, meaning they did Mass Effect 3 and the Deus Ex Human Revolution port to Wii U. So we know that they are capable of doing a port properly on the Wii U instead of a broken port, like most third parties. But anyway, they've come out and said that they have a game that they are porting to the Wii U from PS4, Xbox One. So, or at least from PlayStation and Xbox. Now the thing is, we know a few things, but we don't know some key details. We don't know, like they say, it's coming in 2015, but they didn't specify if this is actually a game that's releasing in 2015 for the first time, or if it's like a port of a last generation game coming to Wii U this year. Hopefully it's an actual port of a game coming out this year, on PS4 and Xbox One, and also coming over to Wii U. Now, they've given a few criteria, like a few hints, that you can kind of try and narrow it down to help us guess what it might be, which is that it's a game coming in 2015, it's coming this year, it's not an M-rated game, and it's not a hardcore video game. But they said that it's their biggest game they've ever ported, that they've ever worked on, and so it's bigger than Mass Effect 3 and Deus Ex. It's their biggest project yet. On the flip side, though, they've also said they are going to be porting a Wii U game over from Wii U to PS4 and Xbox One. Now, I'm going to be going over some different titles for both lists here for what it possibly could be coming to Wii U and what could be not necessarily leaving Wii U, but going from Wii U to the other consoles as well. Now, before we get into this, I don't want you to get too hyped, too excited, because so many times we get excited for stuff like this, and it just always blows up in our face. So, let's start off with the possible list of games that it could potentially be that are coming to the Wii U. First of all, and they also mentioned that they are working, or what was it, that it is from a well-known publisher or something like that. Now, as you all know, a lot of publishers don't really like Nintendo that much these days, so people are thinking it's either going to be Square Enix, like a game from them, or from Activision. So, the first title people think it could be is Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, we don't even know for sure if it's coming out this year, but if it is indeed coming out this year, it's not rated M, so we can check that. It's not technically a hardcore game, so we can check that. It's from a big publisher, aka Square Enix, so that's another check. And then there's people who have said, oh, Kingdom Hearts doesn't work on Wii U because it uses a different engine, and Wii U can't handle the engine, which is a bullshit lie. It would just need to be retweaked. Oh, and one other thing that these guys apparently said was the title that they're bringing over to Wii U, they will be reworking it so that it can work on Wii U. So basically, if it's a game that a developer doesn't already want to put on Wii U, then they're willing to actually do the work instead and make sure it works on Wii U. So anyway, let's move on to the next possible title. A lot of people think it could be Destiny, but this would kind of fit under the it's a game that already came out, just coming to Wii U now. Activision's the publisher, and at one point supported Nintendo. It's also not rated M, although most people do consider Destiny to be a core game or a hardcore game. So Destiny's kind of up in the air. Some people were saying maybe Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Again, not a hardcore game, not rated M, and a Namco game. But it's not really bigger than Deus Ex or Mass Effect 3. So again, I don't think that could be it. An interesting one here is Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, which is like, I guess, Game of the Year edition type thing or whatever. Because it's rated T, apparently. I always thought Dark Souls was M, but okay. It's not considered a hardcore title, or is it not? I should say. I thought it was. So who knows there? Here's a big one that a few people think: Star Wars Battlefront. Granted, I don't think we have a confirmed release date for this year. I think they were just saying December, like Christmas time, in time for the new Star Wars movie. But pretty sure it's going to be a rated T game, so it's not M. It's not necessarily what I'd call a hardcore title, though it is an EA game. So unless EA starts being nice to Nintendo, I don't think it's likely. However, there is one other aspect that a lot of people are forgetting, which is while EA controls the Star Wars video games, Disney owns Star Wars in general. So if EA says we're not going to make Battlefront for the Wii U because we don't want to, Disney, who likes Nintendo, could just simply say, well, okay, you don't want to do it, we'll hire some other developer to make the Wii U version. So that is still a possibility, but again, don't get your hopes up. Another title it could potentially be, since apparently a lot of people are saying it could be a Square Enix game, or it should be, is Final Fantasy 15. It's already a multiplat. So another T-rated game, not rated M. It's from Square. It's a multiplat, I already said. And it would fit under their whole thing about it's our biggest game yet to port. So that would be kind of interesting if it came to the Wii U. I only added this one in because it's kind of like, I wish, but Batman Arkham Knight. I said when we first heard about Batman Arkham Knight, I hope it would come to the Wii U, but then they're like, oh, no, it's not because of the Batmobile, which is all a fucking lie. But the thing is, I doubt it because it's rated M, as I talked about in that last video, and it is considered a hardcore game, though it would be their biggest game yet in comparison to Mass Effect and, what was the other one? Deus Ex. As well as, the thing that kind of intrigued me about it is when they said that they had to rework the title to work on Wii U, which could work with Batman Arkham Knight, because people are like, oh, the Wii U can't handle the game. At the same time, though, if you rework it and make it work properly, you can make adjustments to have the Wii U run Batman Arkham Knight. It wouldn't be, impossible to do. So, the last one here on my list for possible games that could come to Wii U is, and this is one that most people are like, oh, if this is it, or if this is the game we get, that's fucking lame. Guitar Hero, since we heard that a new Guitar Hero game is coming. Because it's not a hardcore game, it's not rated T, but is it bigger than Mass Effect 3 and Deus Ex? Maybe as a franchise at one point it was a huge franchise, but we don't know if that's what they meant when they said it's their biggest thing yet, if it's like the biggest franchise they've worked on, or as in a scale of the game itself being bigger, which I'm leaning towards the latter there. I don't think so, though, for Guitar Hero. I also hope not, because it's a lame franchise. And I was reading a comment where someone was saying, if it's Guitar Hero, I will smack someone. I got a little chuckle out of that. So, those are the main ones. I saw some other people saying other titles like GTA 5, but that's rated M, so that's disqualified. That doesn't count. And stuff like that. Skyrim, but whatever. Whatever. So let's get into the list here of exclusive games to leave Wii U. We don't even know if technically it's an exclusive, but I guess it would make sense, because if it wasn't an exclusive, that would mean it was probably already on PS4 and Xbox One. Most people think that the game leaving the Wii U is Zombie U. Now, it's an old game by now, nobody really cares. I wouldn't personally be too upset, but at the same time, how would that even work on the PS4 and Xbox One, since the game was built from the ground up with the gamepad? Granted, you can use the PS Vita as off-TV play on the PS4. It's not as good as the gamepad. And with, Xbox One, you got your smartphones and iPads and smart glass and all that shit. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if it's even worth it. Not to mention it's called Zombie U. Much like the next title here, which is just my random guess to throw my own 2 cents into this. Ucraft. Maybe since we knew originally it was going to be a Wii U exclusive, and then it's not. It's PC and Wii U and other systems, so maybe that's just what it's going to come out and say, or what they'll come out and say. Although I don't see them porting Ucraft, seeing as the developer himself is already making it, so again, probably not. Probably not Ucraft. Some people were saying Bayonetta 2 is going to leave Wii U as an exclusive. Not happening. We've talked about this dozens and dozens and dozens of times. It's not going to happen unless Nintendo was to say, okay, you guys can have Bayonetta 2, we're fine with that. In which case, if Nintendo did do that, they would win the award for stupidest company of the year. That would be ridiculous, since Nintendo's always saying, oh, over my dead body you'll have Mario on other consoles and all of our IPs. So what chance would there be for them saying that they got a good exclusive coming to another console? Just not going to happen. People are saying the same thing with Wonderful 101, but these games are Nintendo funded, and it's hard to pinpoint what game could be leaving Wii U, because so many Wii U games that are exclusives are Nintendo funded, where the fact is they are there to stay as a Wii U only game. Now, there's another title where people were saying, I had to look it up to be honest, it's called Funky Barn, and I thought it was some casual like Farmville crap, and it basically is. No offense to the developers, which ironically are Tantalus, the same guys who are doing this port, um, and it's made by them and Ubisoft. So if that leaves the Wii U, then fine. I don't care. It's nothing that amazing anyway, and if that's the case, we don't lose anything too special, and we could potentially gain something much greater. Um, and some people were saying that it can't be certain games since the Wii U can't use the Unreal Engine 4 or the Frostbite Engine 3. I can't remember off the top of my head now what those games were. Um, I think Kingdom Hearts was using Unreal Engine 4 or something. But anyway, however, like I've clarified before, the Wii U can use Frostbite Engine 3, as that was proven to be a lie when that first developer had said that. I think it was EA that first said that oh, Wii U can't handle it, but then some game came out, I forget what it was, and it used the Frostbite engine, Frostbite 3 engine, so whatever, that was proven a lie. We all knew it was a lie from the get-go, because especially knowing it was EA saying it. And then as for the Unreal Engine 4, it is true that Wii U can't use all of the engine, since it's quite the what's the word? It's a powerful engine, no doubt, but just the raw. Um, I can't think of the word I'm using, or I need to use here. Raw power. It's not quite what I want to say, but it's good enough. Is a bit much for the Wii U to handle. However, the Unreal Engine, as always, as most engines, are scalable, and the Wii U can use some assets from the Unreal Engine 4. So a game that uses Unreal Engine 4 could be put on Wii U. It would just have to have a few of its parts tweaked, whether it was, different lighting, whether it was a shorter draw distance or render distance, something like that. There would have to be a few little tweaks here and there, but a game that uses the engine can indeed work on the Wii U. So, I guess that's about all I have to go over, to be honest. You can let me know what you think it'll be, but remember, it's not going to be a hardcore title. It's not going to be a rated M game. It's supposedly coming out this year, whether that means just this game in general is coming out this year, or it's a port of a game actually coming out this year. And it could be coming from a good publisher like Square Enix. I don't mean to say good as in like they are good quality. I mean a well-known publisher or whatever. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I'm Original Blood Ace. As always, we'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Stay tuned, as always.